What's up, my brother? So, without the tripod today, I hope that the quality will end up alright because I can't always bring the tripod. But in this video, I want to talk about. So, I have a playlist that's about me, about my journey, and I want to start it off with the first video that in which I will talk about like how I got to the state of recording this YouTube channel and everything. Or maybe I will stop halfway somewhere. It depends on how much detail I go. But first things first, this is my, I'd say, fourth year on the self-improvement journey. And I've made a lot of progress, but all of my progress, it has been more so in getting to know the world and waiting for that to go by. Getting to know the world, getting to know people, like I met a lot of people, and generally actually collecting ideas, collecting a lot of ideas. Actions I started taking about a year ago, and the bodybuilding thing, I've basically just started it because all my life I've been a fighter, and so I'm quite a skinny guy, and so I'm only getting into the bodybuilding stuff, so not that much progress right now, but I don't worry, like I know I have time. So with that being said, the person I started out as was a very, very average, short, fat kid who loved to play Minecraft, didn't like school, didn't like books. I still don't like school, but didn't have many friends. All I could think of was how to get back home to my computer. And everything changed from two occasions. The first one was I actually met a good judo coach. Like at the place where I lived, a lot of the coaches and everything, they were like real fake. They took money but didn't really teach you anything. Like I come from a culture that has a lot of fighters and everything, so I kind of knew it all along. But then I actually met a decent guy, like decent coach, and that's where my like good combat sports journey started. So my first actual with good training sport is judo. It's later on that I changed to hand-to-hand combat. But so that's the first thing, and that's when I started to change physically. And the part where I started to change mentally is actually when my grandmother introduced me to like real modern fantasy books. Like I'm not talking about Harry Potter or stuff, like books that are actually being written right now, so very modern. And I never really liked books, as I mentioned. That's because growing up, all I knew about books were like all the books I got introduced to from my parents and stuff were encyclopedias, and you can imagine like how boring they were to me. So I really never liked books, and then suddenly I got into this world that was very, very interesting. Like fantasy worlds are made to be interesting and stuff. So I got into that, and a few years into reading them and practicing judo and stuff, I started to first subconsciously and then not subconsciously comparing myself to the main characters, to their achievements, to their lifestyles, to what they receive in life and everything. So those that those revelations made me actually seek out self-improvement and practice self-improvement, and by that time I was already getting results. Like, I stopped being fat, though I was skinny now, tall and skinny, but that's better better than being very fat. Yes, and my mindset changed a lot. And so right about that time, so 2 years in, I would say, when I already knew what I wanted, but I was now trying to explore ways of which I can get there, like in real life, not in a fantasy book. I don't have magical powers like main characters in fantasy books and stuff. Yeah, so the books, they gave me this abstraction, this bigger goal stuff, this imagination for what I could want, what I could try to achieve or stuff. And so right about that time is when I stumbled upon First Man, and a little later, similar channels, but not in English. They were in Russian. So there would be no sense for me to recommend that. But now I had the ability to get info that would help me on my journey, that was from real people, experienced people that helped me bit by bit. Then I met my mentor, and basically that's the end of the third year, where I not only had my goals and imagination in place, where I also had actual role models of everything being possible and everything. And I also met my mentor at about that time. And so that's the end of the third year. And as I said, about 4 years I've been practicing it. And so for the past year, I've been seriously into it. I've been making attempts on making money and stuff. I will talk about my failed attempts in another video, I think, because like I said, I'd like to stay sub 10 or above 30 minutes, and it's 7-8 minutes already. So I started experimenting, and basically experiment after experiment, more experience, more acquaintances, refined goals, refined mentality. I also keep watching the people that helped me along the way, so more ideas, more thoughts. And also for the past 2 years of my life, there have been a lot of travelings that I needed to do with my family. So basically, you could sum it up as luck of meeting people and finding information that helps, that's interesting and everything, and basically just working. And so 4 years into it, but 1 year into active doing these things, and maybe 3-4 months into things that I've refined out of my experiences that I will be sticking to in the next few years, which is one, this YouTube channel, next is of course bodybuilding, and some other stuff I'll touch upon later. And so this is why in the first video I said basically my first steps, because I am in the beginning, though my beginning is a little different to most people's beginning. But this is a breakdown of what I've been through. Details, I'm not even choosing not to touch upon them, it's just such a wide scope that I can't think of everything for this video. But those topics, I will be digging them up from my memory and my notes, video to video, and it will just be spread. The details will be basically spread out across videos on the channel. So pretty much the story up until now. I will maybe think of some other details and record another video. Maybe another video for this playlist will come out also a month later, when there is significant progress to talk about actually. But that's been it. I hope the quality is fine. I hope you have a good day. I hope my advices that I've been posting so far are not only trustworthy for you, but are also useful if you actually tried them out. Kind of hard being a teenager trying to be all serious and have people believe you and try out stuff you have, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I want one, but I don't expect a sudden boom and hundreds of thousands of followers and like Hamza's cult members and stuff. I don't expect that, and this is beneficial for me, not only for the potential money, but also actually on the self-improvement journey, especially when you don't have a crew around you, because only extremely lucky people have a tribe from the get-go. You're very kind of lonely, you don't hang out, you don't speak to people that much. So actually for the past year or so, I've really had I always need to kind of warm up before I can speak to people, before I can have random chats with guys, with girls, on dates or just hanging out with friends. And so this YouTube channel also benefits me in that way. And there's one more point that I wanted to touch, but it's out of my mind. It's about benefits of this channel to me. Actually, yeah, it's nothing else. Basically, yeah, this practicing, it also will help me in my business model that I will also, of course, be step by step doing in this channel, but that is later on, because I need to be 18, because my country's laws, Ukraine's laws, don't help out entrepreneurs that are under 18. Unlike in the US or in Great Britain, like we can't just register as a solo entrepreneur or whatever that is called. So after 18, the channel will shift more towards the business, and actually me doing the business. But so you would be able to step by step copy what I do if you like. But right now what's going on is basically not only the ideas and the thoughts I'm sharing with you, but also if you look at it abstractly, it is actually a step by step showing you how this kind of journey starts out. That's why I try to make everything structured. I have the intro videos, I have the playlist set up, because when you start these channels, you look through the big YouTubers and their first videos are always just random topics, random timing and everything. I'm trying to structurize this, so if you decide to do this, you'll have a guide in front of you. And I accidentally touched upon a topic I wanted to save for later, which is your YouTube channel. I wanted to save this for a lot later, being honest, when I would have enough followers, like a lot of followers. I wanted to do this, but actually now that I think about it, one of the next videos might be about it, because what's better than starting out together and growing together? That would make the tribe even stronger bonded together. That is definitely going to be one of the next videos, but this is it for now. See you, man.